we're at the Pig near Bath, this beautiful place, and it's cocktail hour. I'm ready, and Tom's ready, and he's going to give us 3 wine-based cocktails.
Yes, I am. Right, better get on with it.
Okay, Tom, now what are you going to do?
I'm going to make you, first off, a classic. We've talked about this before. We love it. White port and tonic, Oz. But it's not any white port and tonic. We've got the absolutely beautiful Graham's number 5 white port. That's what makes the difference.
Because white port used to be any old rubbish that they could throw together at the end of the fermentation. And you used to go to port and they'd say, oh, would you like a drink before dinner? We've got port and tonic. And you thought, oh God, why can't someone give me a gin and tonic? Do I have to have port and tonic? But Graham's have really made an effort to get white port right, haven't
This
they?
particularly, so the number 5 blend is lighter, it's fresher, it's built for drinking in cocktails. And, you know, it's based around 2 beautiful Douro white grapes. You've got Malvasia fina in there, and you've also got, I mean, actual Muscat Petit Graham, what they call
the real Muscat.
Muscatel
The
Gallego, the aromatic, the highest quality Muscat in there. And they treat it more gently. You know, these are not big, heavy, foot-trodden things. These are lightly extracted, elegant.
So you make it like a gentle white wine instead of the rough old stuff they used to do.
Exactly.
As though it was making a proper white wine just to be served as a white wine.
Exactly.
And then you stop the fermentation in the same way as with port.
Exactly. You fortified it.
Leaving some sugar in, so there's some sweetness in the port. Yep.
Yeah,
and that didn't take you long.
No, it's as quick as that. Come on, when you've been working hard in the valley, doing harvest, you know, picking when it's hotter than anything down there, you can't hang around. You need a white port and tonic sharpish.
Yeah.
Look at that in the glass.
Well,
what I love, it has a shimmer that a gin and tonic doesn't. It's very lovely.
And it's half the alcohol.
Half the alcohol.
Yeah.
A little bit of mint. Thyme's also very nice. A little bit of a lemon slice in there, Oz.
You slice the lemon very expertly.
Exactly, I did it myself. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Come on. Tuck into that and I'll tell you about another one.
That actually smells rather good.
Very, very, very good.
Oh, Tom, that is so much better than the white port and tonic I used to suffer through. Thinking, when is someone going to give me a decent glass of red port?
100%.
That's so much better.
Now, let me take you to Flavour Town.
I don't do that too often.
Blandies, come on, exactly. We're looking at lovely Blandies here. This is a 10-year-old Oz. Sercial, coming at you. He's putting the white port and tonic down in such a way that suggests you're going to pick that up again quite shortly, aren't you? Away. Exactly.
No, Sercial, that's interesting. Sercial is the rarest sort of Madeira. Madeira's the lost classic, isn't it?
It's
100 years ago, 150 years ago, people drank Madeira all over England.
Yeah.
They just don't. It's been completely forgotten.
It's a fascinating wine to learn about because it's unlike any other. It's a wine that was created almost by accident, right? It comes from the beautiful island, Madeira. And it's a wine that, when it was first transported, long journeys on ships in the really hot tropics, they realised all the wine in this barrel it's getting caramelly, it's getting really flavourful. And by the time that any was left over and brought back to the island, you know, months later, having been hot the whole time in the belly of these ships, they were these caramelly, nutty, almost like sort of nut buttery.
And raisins.
Oh my gosh.
And muscovado sugar. Because they've basically been pasteurised going backwards and forwards over the equator. They used to call them Old East India.
Exactly. And then they've replicated that. They've over the centuries built these systems where they intentionally pretty much do everything to a wine that everyone else in the world tries to avoid.
Yeah.
You know, and they are sensational for it.
It's natural pasteurisation,
Absolutely.
isn't it? I mean, the Madeira Island is 900 kilometres from Portugal. Yeah. It's off the African coast.
Yeah.
It's in the middle of nowhere. It's a cliff in the middle of nowhere. You think, how can anybody grow anything on Madeira? And it's 100%. All these tiny little vineyards stuck up like this in the cliff. It's an amazing place to visit.
Wet as anything.
Really difficult to grow Sercial.
Well,
it's the driest wine.
Exactly.
There's a little bit of sugar in this.
There's always Madeira is. I always feel Madeira has a touch of sugar, not all sweet. Sercial's racingly dry, but crucially shed loads of acid. And that's its thing. Fine acid.
Slight smokiness.
Always, exactly. Yeah. And I get this lovely nut buttery sensation. Raisins, nut butters, nougat-y. Now what we've done here, Oz, is I've done a decent slug, 50 mils. I've probably done a bit more. I've probably put a bit more in of this beautiful 10-year-old Sercial.
Yeah.
And then I've topped it up with a really nice lime soda, some sort of citrus soda. We've got the Fever Tree one here. A little bit of mint, a little bit of lemon, And that's created this lovely, lifted, easy drink. Quick,
It's a good
quick
way
as the white
because
port.
this is a classy drink. This has spent 10 years in a barrel getting ready for this.
Yeah. What do we think?
It's still very elegant.
It is.
That Sercial isn't very sweet, is it?
No, it's dry.
Really quite restrained. And I can just start seeing that muscovado, like melted muscovado sugar. A sort of syrup made of muscovado.
Just as it begins to crackle and bubble.
Coming
Just
through.
that.
Not tons of it, just a little, beautiful little sliver of it coming across my palate.
One of my favourite sensations in mixed drinks, something that is very hard to get in wine, and you know wine is my heartland, I love it. But one of the things that's great about mixed drinks is getting a balance between sweetness and acidity, getting that almost kind of piquant spice of a ginger, or in this case the Sercial spice, and matching it with a really sweet citrusy kind of lime.
Yeah.
There's a real beautiful interplay there that can only come from drinks like this.
And that
It's
baked
great.
character is there.
Yes, it's there.
So, and it's supposed to be. It's about the only drink in the world which is supposed to taste baked.
It's true to its type. It's very nice.
Very good.
Now, well done, Blandies. We're fans. Now, Oz, look, we need enough time to talk about this. What a sensational thing, right? It's old school, doesn't even cover it. And I love it. What a beautiful label.
That is a vermouth.
It is a vermouth.
People think of
a vermouth.
vermouth.
It's a vermouth.
Vermouth.
Yes.
Sorry, he's been spending too much time in America. A vermouth or a vermouth.
Spanish, vermouth.
Vermouth was made. I mean, it's been around for 3,500 years. This kind of wine,
Atamán.
but it was made famous by James Bond in Doctor No.
Very true.
That's the shaken, not stirred world.
Yeah.
For a whole generation, it was really cool, and it's been completely forgotten. But it's a wonderful, wonderful style of wine.
And I think when people think vermouth, they think Italian or French. They think
always.
Clean, dry whites for martinis. They think bittersweet reds for Negronis and things. We're going to make a Negroni with this. But the great thing about Atamán here is this isn't like that Italian bittersweet Rosso style. This has got a sweetness to it, but it's built on 50-year-old reserve wines. Back vintage things. Quinine wines as well. There's a kind of beautiful medicinal rolling lift to it.
Because 50 years ago, all the people in sherry. This is from sherry.
Yeah.
This is based on Manzanilla sherry. It's in a place called San Luca, right down by the sea. The place, by the way, where Christopher Columbus went across to discover America from the village that this place is. And it's a really it's the freshest, saltiest, best quality dry sherry there is. That's the base for this wine.
Yeah.
But as I said, 50 years ago, they used to make these aromatized wines. Everybody was doing it. Everyone's lost the art in sherry. They've got barrels sitting there, 50 years old. And this wine, I think, is made in tiny quantities. They've got 3 barrels each time they make this. Just 3 barrels of this wine here. And I must admit, you can taste the quality of the sherry in it.
And it's that lovely, refreshing, Moorish Manzanilla style, isn't it? That's what
I also think nowadays vermouth is suddenly becoming popular again because winemakers often are desperate to do something in their spare time, and making a vermouth style is becoming increasingly popular in places like California, Australia, all those sort of places. But this is classic stuff. Oh, Tom, nice. It looks lovely.
Doesn't it look good?
You're very artistic today.
I try. Now, I think drinking this on its own with ice, lovely thing. Slice of orange, perfect. But the classic, of course, is a Negroni. So we've gone equal parts gin, Campari for your bittersweet Italian style, and then an equal part of Atamán.
Okay,
absolutely beautiful.
And let's see if this. Look at that label. That's a Cossack General. Why? I don't know.
What that gives this Negroni is it gives it that Manzanilla freshness, that lovely little saline, savoury edge.
Oh.
It's a whack, isn't it?
So it does brilliantly with the Campari bitterness.
Yeah.
Because it's got so much nutty depth,
You've got
the bitterness of the vermouth. Vermouth actually is a bastardization of the word wormwood. Wormwood is one of the bitterest things in nature.
Yeah.
That's what makes vermouth,
Yeah.
and of course that's probably what's in Campari as well.
Campari's got all these bitter and kind of really bittersweet sparks and things
This
as well.
is bitter times 2.
Absolutely.
But now you've got this lovely, deep brown richness from the sherry.
And you get that lovely yeasty quality, that lovely, gently flory quality that lifts over the top. I think that's a lot of fun. So here are 3 very good wine-based cocktails for you to try at home. I think it's a nice thing. It's a good thing.
I think these are wonderfully refreshing, and that's just a fantastically original drink, that one with the vermouth.
Now you can get back into your white port and tonic that you loved so much.
Thank you.
We'll see you very soon.
I'm going to stick with this.
Honestly. This is just one of our Wine Alive Summer Sipping Series videos with Oz Clarke and me, Tom Surgey. If you'd like to know more about the wines we've tasted, head over to our blog at wine-alive.com and check out our other videos. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And thanks again for watching. We hope you sip splendidly this summer.